It's just what's bothering me is that being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, bull sometimes, and you know that's the only thing that I hate about it.
Let me tell you, when Terrence Howard finally broke his silence about how Bryshere Gray was allegedly passed around in Hollywood, my jaw literally dropped to the floor. The details he revealed are even more disturbing than anything Jaguar Wright or anyone else has ever exposed. Now, we all know Terrence can be controversial, but one thing's crystal clear. He's always stood against young black men being exploited in this industry. From what I've learned, he actually tried to protect Bryshere, but sadly, by the time he discovered what was allegedly happening, it was already too late. The story gets even darker, y'all. According to these revelations, not only was Bryshere allegedly violated against his consent, but once they were done using him, they reportedly got him hooked on substances and then completely blackballed him from the industry. It's absolutely heartbreaking. Now, everyone started noticing something was seriously wrong with Bryshere when he began having these constant run-ins with the police. I mean, we're talking every few days, and it was shocking to witness his downward spiral. Let me take you back to 2020. That's when things really started falling apart. He got arrested for allegedly attacking his wife, and the details are just devastating. The situation was so bad that his wife had to literally run to a nearby gas station for help. When she found the police, she told them everything. How Bryshere had allegedly strangled her until she was losing consciousness. And y'all, when the police went to arrest him, it turned into this whole dramatic standoff. He wouldn't come out of his house, and it took hours of negotiations with SWAT team members to finally get him to surrender. Everyone was completely floored to discover he was married, but what really sent shockwaves through social media was how terrible he looked in those mugshots.
They do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bryshere Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
But hold on to your seats, because this story gets even more twisted. Jaguar Wright didn't just stop there. She came back with another interview that had everyone's mouths hanging open. She dropped this bomb about Charlie Mack, who was managing Bryshere when he was just 17 years old. According to Jaguar, Charlie allegedly collaborated with Bryshere's own mother, Andrea Mayberry, to, and I can't believe I'm saying this, allegedly sell him to Diddy and Will Smith.
And when I say Andy, I'm talking about Bryshere's mom. I'ma kick you in your and I'ma go to work North Philly style. You and Charlie, you happy now? He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell? I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life and what you had to do with it. You CI.
Now here's where it gets even more heartbreaking. Jaguar revealed that Andrea actually came to her begging for help with Bryshere. Jaguar says she told Andrea straight up, get Bryshere away from Charlie Mack immediately, since he was the connection between Bryshere and Diddy. But y'all, apparently Andrea did absolutely nothing and allegedly allowed this situation with Diddy and Will to continue.
That came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Bryshere, to help her get Bryshere out of California into Chicago State to be ready for filming. She knew she knew what Will did to him. But because of Charlie, see? And Charlie had promised her all kinds of things. And all she had to do was pretend to be a broken down single mom who worked her way up through the ghetto and raised a superstar for television, when the truth is, she wasn't nothing but a dealer's. That's all she ever was. She went from dealer to dealer, and then she snitched on whoever she needed to snitch on until she could get to the bigger bag, until she got with Larry Lair, my friend who raised Bryshere in $1 million home. Your whole book is lies, Andy. And I hope anybody that bought it ask for a refund and demands it comes out of your pocket every time they see your son's gate. You and Charlie Mack.
The plot thickens even more. According to Jaguar, there's apparently this massive lawsuit that Bryshere has been preparing to file. But here's the tea. She claims that's exactly why Hollywood is suddenly trying to destroy his acting career. They're allegedly trying to paint him as unstable so that when he starts speaking out, they can just dismiss him as crazy. And if you thought that was shocking, wait until you hear this. Jaguar claims there's supposedly this secret tape involving Justin Bieber, Will, Jaden, Diddy, and Bryshere in some compromising situation.
If he needs prayer, I don't even know what's going on.
They trying to slay him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on. Come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent, and she let Charlie tune that boy up on, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a filly. You're a big old they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all. I'm sorry. The Bryshere conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Belial and I asked Belial to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his book.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Don't nobody care about these kids. Don't nobody care about these kids.
Now, let's talk about that lawsuit everyone's been whispering about. Just a few months ago, right before Bryshere made some controversial career choices, rumors were swirling about him allegedly preparing to file a massive $50 million lawsuit against Diddy. This came out through a blind item that had everyone talking. I suspect the soon-to-step-forward male victim of this A-list mogul will not be the last man to do so, Shaw Diddy Combs. Speaking of Terrence Howard, he's been very strategic about this whole situation. He hasn't directly addressed Bryshere's situation because he wants Bryshere to tell his own story when he's ready. But Chile, he did not hold back when discussing how black men in Hollywood are allegedly being turned into what he calls power bottoms and effeminate men. People are connecting these comments to Bryshere's current situation, where he's reportedly involved in adult content online. In this explosive interview, Terrence didn't mince words. He said he's convinced that Hollywood has this whole agenda to feminize black men by making them tone down their masculinity. His exact words were, "With the new formula, most men are made to be effeminate and not have their power or sense of strength. They allow white men to be strong, but not when it's black men." He went even further, saying, "I don't want to remove a few chromosomes to fit in someone's story, so I feel they need to expand their stories to allow men to be men and simultaneously appreciate a woman's beauty." The timing of these comments had everyone raising eyebrows, especially with all the rumors about Bryshere potentially being a victim of this alleged agenda. It's heartbreaking to think about how Bryshere went from being Hollywood's next big thing to where he is now. Terrence even suggested in another interview that being effeminate was like a twisted gateway to success in Hollywood, claiming that only those willing to compromise their masculinity actually make it big. He stated, "Everything is androgynous, you know. The more successful men now are the effeminate." But here's where it gets messy. Some people are side-eyeing Terrence's comments because of his own troubled history with domestic violence. Critics are saying he might not have exploited young men in Hollywood, but he's got his own controversial past with women he's allegedly attacked. The comments section was on fire. One person wrote, "Terrence Howard is exactly right on these points. Bryshere Gray must stand up for himself, though as challenging as that may be. Confessing and admitting being SA is a real challenge for a masculine male man. The industry mess Bryshere Gray, Will Smith, and Diddy need to be under the jail for their nasty tailways. Instead of people demonizing Bryshere, they should help him. Bryshere should sue Will too." Another heartbroken fan commented, "He definitely suffered something horrific. When he burst onto the scene, he was fresh-faced and full of energy. Look at him now, shaking my head." So, what do y'all think about all this? Do you believe these shocking allegations about Diddy and Will Smith? And is Terrence Howard doing the right thing by encouraging Bryshere to come forward with his story? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video that'll have your head spinning. This whole situation is just getting messier by the day, and I'll be right here to keep you updated on any new developments. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the latest tea.